The Xpeng Mona, it's the most popular Xpeng car ever. I mean, literally, Xpeng just cannot make enough of these. They are selling them like crazy, and basically orders continue to pile up. Xpeng, I believe, got about 60,000 orders within, I think it was about a week or two, for good reason. It's probably the best value electric car you can buy in China. It starts at around $16,800 US. It's a similar size to a Tesla Model 3, but it's got a more practical boot space. I actually had a look at one of these in China, and I'm hoping to test drive one very soon because they are coming to Australia. But there is an SUV version. The Mona is technically a bit like a Tesla Model 3, but with a more practical boot space because it's a liftback. But the SUV version will be the kind of car that I think will appeal to a lot more people because of the fact it's going to have a really good sized boot space. Now, I'm estimating the additional price for the fact that it's an SUV might be $2,000 or $3,000 US more. So you're still looking at a vehicle costing about $19,000 US. This vehicle is going to be hugely popular. I have heard rumors going around that they will be bringing, well, they're hoping to bring that to Australia. It's going to be a global car. Remember, Xpeng is saying they're going to have 50% of their sales worldwide will be global, outside of China, 50% within the next few years. And they're also saying within the next 12 months, they'll be selling cars in 60 different countries around the world. Imagine if you're trying to sell an EV, you're the Volkswagen Group, you're like, hey guys, we got this brand new ID2 EV. It's going to come out in 2 years from now. It's going to be only $25,000 US. And Xpeng comes along and goes, yeah, we're making an SUV. It's $19,000. It's going to be available in a few months' time. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. If you'd like to become a member of the channel, that would be amazing. That would help support the channel. And also you get access to some of my exclusive videos. I'll put a link in the description below. Renders of the Mona SUV have been revealed. And I mean, will it look like this? Could be similar. Basically, they've taken the Xpeng, the existing Mona, and given it that sort of SUV boot. I think this render makes it look more like a station wagon than an SUV. Anyhow, as you can see, it's going to be bigger than the Mona. The Mona is the entry-level Xpeng vehicle. It's the cheapest Xpeng, and I got the price wrong. Based on trade currency fluctuations, it used to be $16,800. Now it's $16,500 US. So incredible car for the money. Honestly, just staggeringly good car for the money. Now, Car News China say that it's only going to be about 10,000 yen more. So that would mean it'd be $18,000 US. I was wrong. I was off by $1,000. It's going to be about $18,000 US in China. Obviously, to produce these in right-hand drive for markets like Australia, the UK, New Zealand, Malaysia, Thailand, etc., it adds a little bit of money to the cost, and then shipping them overseas adds money as well. I'd expect them to come in at, closer to around 25, maybe 30,000, maybe 25 to 27,000 US. Still pretty damn nice car, right? For the money, and it's a big car. It's not, not when I say big, it's probably going to be a similar size to something like a Tesla Model Y. In February last year, Xpeng's CEO announced a massive model offensive with 30 new or refreshed models launching in the next 3 years. The Xpeng G7 compact SUV is coming. So that'll be like a smaller version of the G6, but it'll look a little bit different. The Xpeng G7, I've already done a video on that. I'll put a link in the description. The G7 is a bit bigger than a G6. The Xpeng H01, which is kind of like something similar size to a Kia EV9 or a Toyota Land Cruiser, that's coming. So if you want a big 7-seat electric SUV, that will be available. And Xpeng also have a new version of, I believe, the P7, an updated version of the G9, and a couple of other vehicles coming as well. They've got the Xpeng P9. So the P9 is like a bigger version of the P7, which is really, really interesting. So they're going to have an incredible lineup of cars here, guys. The Mona, it will be probably a little smaller than a Model Y, but not much smaller, pretty similar. And apparently there might even also be a plug-in hybrid version. Now, I'm not really a fan of plug-in hybrids, but if you are, that's going to be an option. Xpeng actually sold 30,350 electric cars in January, which was a growth of 268% versus January the previous year. The two cars driving huge sales figures for Xpeng, massive, improvements in their deliveries, are this vehicle, the sedan version of this, the Mona M03, and the new Xpeng P7 Plus. Xpeng say that they believe by the end of this year, they won't be losing money anymore. They'll be actually either breaking even or making a profit on their vehicles. Now, I'm not sure if that'll happen because, as you can see, they're investing huge sums of money into their vehicles. Not only that, they're investing huge sums of money into a joint venture partnership with the Volkswagen Group. Basically, the Volkswagen Group have bought into Xpeng. They want to use their platforms for their new electric cars, software for self-driving. Xpeng are working on that a lot. And they've got all these new models coming, like I said before. Xpeng are aiming to sell around 400,000 vehicles this year. And then my guess is they'll be going for something like 800,000 next year, meaning they'll double sales this year and then hopefully double sales again next year. I think that they absolutely can do that. I think they can sell that many cars, especially when you're selling cars in 60 different countries around the world, especially when they're this good and extremely well priced. I have an Xpeng G6 and it's a phenomenal car. I mean, if you got access to test drive one, I would. Why not test drive it? See what your thoughts are. Very similar to a Tesla Model Y, but better value and definitely nicer on the inside. The interior is a bit more premium, just a nicer place to be in general. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Would you consider buying one of these? An Xpeng Mona SUV? If it was, say, 25, 27,000 US dollars, would that be in your ballpark? I think a lot of people would be saying, hell yeah. Guys, this is a new Xpeng G7. I've got a G6. Is the G7 better than the G6? I'm not sure, but here is what the new car looks like. I think it looks good. Very interesting that Xpeng are bringing out these new models. And we were seeing the other day, I did a video on the new Zeekr, their GT, very similar to this in a lot of ways. Here are the details on the new Xpeng G7. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Xpeng are launching the G7 this year. It is definitely a rival to the Model Y. Now, obviously, it's more of a coupe-like shape than the current G6. It'll be priced similarly to a Tesla Model Y. They say in China that it will be maybe the most powerful SUV in its segment this year. So, what is the price? Well, Model Y costs around 55,000 Australian dollars in China, so 250,000 RMB. That is around 37,000 US dollars.